Hi, my name is Wynn Doman, and I'm currently a junior at Sunset High School in the beautiful city of Portland, Oregon. And 4 months ago, I probably made the worst mistake of my life. Sitting in a room amongst 30 of my brave test-taking comrades, I read to myself the question on my PSAT answer booklet. Check here if you give permission for the College Board to share your scores with schools who are interested. Already brain-fried and half-conscious as a result of taking the grueling test, the request seemed innocent enough, and being the ambitious and opportunity-seeking student I am, I cheerfully marked yes and gave myself a miniature pat on the back for my great decision. Little did I know that in doing this, I was literally opening the floodgates of college recruitment spam directly into my email and household mailbox. Today, I can hardly sort through my inbox amidst the cluttered mess created by this constant barrage of often cheesy and unread attempts from many colleges I've never even heard of. I receive messages from such reputable and renowned institutions as Kenyon College and DePauw, not even DePaul, DePauw University. I mean, nothing against these places, don't get me wrong. But I just want to know what makes them think that 130-second email that they send me will be the one that finally makes me realize, okay, that's the one that did it. Mom, Dad, I'm going to Muhlenberg College. But in all seriousness, my problem isn't nearly this bad. I'm sure students across the country face the same situation as me and don't complain at all. I guess I just needed to blow off a little steam. In fact, one positive actually did come from my fateful decision that day. It got me thinking. I became interested in how colleges targeted potential students and the strategies employed in their marketing material, and thus led to the creation of this masterpiece. And for that, DePauw University, I am eternally grateful. In order to better focus my investigation, I decided to explore 2 different categories, each relating to either production or reception. First, I looked at how the material changes depending on whether a big or small college is the sender, specifically regarding how the varying motivations of different sized schools impacts their overall strategy in the marketing material they produce. For my second area of analysis, I wanted to pinpoint the strategic differences between messages sent as physical mail and as virtual mail, whether they were almost identical apart from their physical form, or if there was more under the surface than simply their method of reception. To begin, let's outline a broader picture of the differences in motivation between smaller schools and larger schools as a whole. When you think of a big school, nearby state schools like Oregon, Washington, or Cal may come to mind. These nationally known universities receive more applications than they can handle, as students clamor for spots in fiercely contested waters. Oftentimes, it's more of an issue for students of whether they can gain acceptance and not of whether they would like to attend. For these places, receiving enough students is not an issue, so the attraction of students through their marketing material is not their primary focus. Instead, they place the emphasis on building their brand, or reinforcing the hopefully already positive impression that people hold of them. This usually consists of large, stunning photographs and large overlays of university logos dominating marketing material. For them, there's no need to waste time cluttering the pretty picture of their campus with statistics and convincing points when most who receive the material are already sold. A great example of this can be seen with these 3 cards I received from Alabama, Penn State, and Oregon, all 3 large public universities. Instead of a bunch of small writing, all these cards consist of is an image that correlates to each school. The impression received is one of tidiness and professionalism, one that overarchingly top colleges hope matches their brand. Small colleges, on the other hand, have a much different set of goals. Like me, I'm sure you've never heard of Muhlenberg College. Well, now that I've said that, I'm sure your dad went there, but this is the challenge that these schools face. Nobody knows who they are, so they have no brand to promote. Thus, they take a different approach. These places know that students who are considering small colleges in the first place are less likely to mesh with the huge undergraduate populations at larger institutions and seek a more personalized experience. They target these students by doing something called marketing to the individual. Basically, the main premise of their case becomes about how special you are, and how their school would be a great fit for you. To further emphasize how much a personal connection means to their school, messages are often written from a person's individual name, opposed to the blah 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 admissions department signature you would see from a bigger school. They accompany this with writing in the first person, and sometimes even the inclusion of a PS at the end, all to construct a feeling of connection and a belief in the reader that our school cares about you. When looking at the differences between physical and virtual mail, I quickly discovered that they abound far beyond just their physical forms. Small colleges especially take advantage of the use of bright colors in their physical mail as a way to catch a student's eye amongst the crowds. Examples of this at work are shown with these envelopes I received from Northwest Nazarene University, Nova Southeastern University, and Loyola University. This is opposed to bigger schools who would rather pass up the expense of colored mail in favor of the traditional white envelope. Email, though, has no options for color. All writing means schools have to be creative in order to stand out. Commonly, I see emails from tiny colleges containing subject lines with emojis, symbols, or even tabloid-style questions like, "Charles, respond immediately." Personally, I view it as tacky, but for them, any risk for a chance to be clicked on is a risk worth taking. Popular colleges again opt for the classic route, letting their school reputation do the talking opposed to a cheesy email attempt. Overall, the different strategies and motivations behind college recruitment messaging is a complicated and cutthroat world. It turns out that the only landscape more competitive than the race to get into college may just be the one occurring on the other end.